Greetings everyone, this is M-Dog. We're here at Akhtuba, down at the spot that's affectionately called the toenail because of the shape of the hole here. We're actually casting, it looks like, from the edge of F8. Coordinates are going to be 157. You may also be familiar with 102.57. Used to, for sturgeon and sometimes wild carp, the cast would be more like in this direction, kind of along the bottom of the hole here. But over the past few weeks, both sturgeon and now wild carp have been pretty active in this direction. So we are at 157, clip 19. Now, a little bit of variety here. I've actually got the first line at clip 17. Several folks are using clip 17. I think 19, which the second and third line are at, is the more common clip, but 17 will work as well. All three of my lines currently are going to be set up the same way. So we're using 36 kilo braided line, so largest sort of carp type gear you've got. I happen to be using Bingas. I know other reels will work down here as well if you're targeting wild carp. Tagaras, maybe even some of the fair reels. You don't want to go too low though. These guys will fight, especially the trophies. These are the baits we're using. For the most part, we're using these baits, tuna 18 with crab and mussel 20 soluble. If you look at the weeklies right now for wild carp, you almost exclusively see this combination. We're also using Atlantic tuna, and here is the PVA we're using. A lot of different wild carp PVA variants out there. For me, this PVA has been working the best. I started on a different one, ended up with that one, and I need to thank Freet, the person that sent me that specific PVA recipe. Now, we've had 3 trophies, 3 trophy wild carps. Caught one and a few other wild carp, about 800 silver worth of wild carp, including 1 trophy, so I wasn't here long. And then had to go buy some lure making tools, reset for happy hour, came back, caught 2 more. And you can see these were actually pretty close together. So I did mention that mostly I was using that bait combination. The other one that caught 1 trophy was using the red krill pellets. Again, most of the fish here have been on tuna pellets. But the red krill pellets work as well. I think overall, I have settled on the tuna pellets being preferred. 2 out of my 3 trophies today were caught on the tuna pellets. You should know if you use the red krill pellets on one line or something, you're much more likely to get catfish. There won't be a lot of them, but if you ask the guys that are fishing for sturgeon down in this spot right now, these waters are infested with catfish. We also had 1 sturgeon on the red krill pellets. The only thing I'm catching on the tuna pellets, which is what I recommend using, is, oh, the red krill was a grass carp as well. Earlier I did have grass carp on the tuna pellets as well, but you'll see common show up every once in a while on the tuna pellets. And that's pretty much all the fish you're catching. Primarily, it's going to be wild carp. And if you know about fishing wild carp, very good XP, very good silver. If you mix in trophies every once in a while, the silver goes from good to one of the better silver sources in the game. Really good. Really good silver, and especially good XP. Really good spot for happy hour, although you're taking a little bit of a chance because you definitely want to hit that trophy during happy hour if possible for that huge boost to XP if you're worried about leveling currently. And that's pretty much it. It's a very slow spot, as you can imagine. Wild carp spots usually are, especially this time of day. I sort of intentionally made this video at a time where we probably weren't going to be catching fish, because that's really not the point. The point is to show you that a lot of wild carp being caught here. A lot of trophies have come out in this spot today. I started fishing this spot right towards the end of my stream and have been fishing off and on since the end of my stream, and have caught those 3 trophies. But folks in the stream had been talking about fishing here. They also had caught multiple trophies in this spot. There is some RNG to it, obviously, as there always is. I've also heard people talk about fishing this spot for several hours today and not having trophies. Regardless of if you catch the trophies or not, you're catching a good percentage of wild carp. Most of them are pretty decent size, although all in all, I would say maybe around a third of the wild carp you pull out are going to be those annoying 2 to 3 kilo, not quite marker varieties. Turn those into fish pieces. But when you first sit on the spot, if you're seeing some of those show up, don't let that alarm you. In terms of averages over the course of time, plenty of them will be marker size and even all the way up to trophy. So I like it. I mean, it's a good spot if you're watching Netflix, watching a stream, hanging out, doing something else. It's a good spot to just kind of sit, and when it gets exciting, it gets very exciting. Otherwise, you're just making a nice steady flow of silver and XP. I wasn't even going to do a video, but I think a lot of folks probably know about this spot because it's been so exciting today with lots of trophies. But in case you've missed it or have tried it and it hadn't been working good, I did want to make a quick video, as someone recommended I do, just to show you exactly what it is that I'm using and give you an opportunity to give it a try. Obviously 2.0 hooks, which is typical for wild carp if you're trying to get a reasonable chance at trophies. At least typical for me, I should say. And that's about it. 157, clip 19. You can try 17, 18 if you want to. Clip 19 seems to be the most sturdy or steady to me. But don't be afraid to move it around a little bit. Thanks for watching. I am planning on streaming actually a little later today, as it's just past midnight. So Wednesday evening at some point, late afternoon, early evening, I should be going live. We'd be able to get a little longer stream in compared to what we did last night. And if you're around, love to see you stop by and say hello. I don't know that we'll be fishing for wild carp on stream. I doubt we will. I like to do things that have a little bit better bite rate, even though this silver and XP is pretty ridiculously good. But we'll probably be doing other things on stream, but we'll see. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you there. Tight lines.